let's get this going here. Cool. Very cool, man. How's everybody doing today? Welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. Cool, man. I'm still in the middle of programming the new stream in OBS. Hope audio's all good. You guys, I'm not blowing you away with the microphone or anything like that, but I got some blueprints queued up here. You know what? I gotta take that out. That's that. Those snuff pouches. The tobacco thing. I was trying to stop vaping. I quit smoking years ago, and but I've been vaping for years. So I'm trying some other things just to kind of get off the vape. And goddamn, nicotine is such a kid, like such a it's awful. It's a long story how I was addicted. Goddamn, I love my parents, but they like the old school, having us in like smoking with the windows rolled up, and like cigarette smoking was everywhere when I was a kid. So when I was more and more out of the house and on my own, independent, I started smoking cigarettes. I hated them. I hated the smell, the taste, hated everything about them. But I always need that nicotine. So it's like I've been addicted my entire life. It sucks. So trying to get off it. But anyways, that's not what the stream's about. Got something little cool here I want to show you guys. You know what I'm saying? This is actually really cool. I got to shout out Peter Olson here, who sent me this. This is the first time I'm presenting this, but it's actually a really cool tool for plumbers, electricians, for punching holes in the steel stud. We'll take a closer look at that too in a second. But yeah, I want to shout out everyone who's here. Let me know where you're watching from. And also, if you guys have any questions at all and during any part of the stream, please let me know in the chat here. No problem. You guys got questions about steel stud drywall specifically, taping, whatnot, go ahead. I'm just going to kick my shoes off here, actually. Oh, going to get comfy. And we'll go over some blueprints and I like specifications and the details, and I'll try to cover like some of the symbols and stuff like that as we go. This is my new stream setup. So I'm sorry. So this is my new stream setup. It should be going well. I know when I was using vMix, it was buffering like crazy. This one still may a little bit, but it's not going to kick in my butt. Where it would like we would drop like a minute or so of the stream. It was so frustrating. OBS now, it's doing some anyways, but anyways, it should be okay. Hopefully we're good. So I still have to program some triggers and some automations and stuff like that, but the basics are here. It's good enough for what we need to do to learn blueprints, guys. So first thing I want to kind of just show you guys, it's pretty cool. If I go to the overhead shot here, this is the company Peter Olson, and they I can't remember what country they're from. Darn it! I got to get my whole pitch and everything ready, but they're from Europe somewhere. But they're the only ones in the world that do this. And this attachment goes on like a press. Okay, so like a lot of plumbers and electricians have these presses. Okay, and I've also seen a lot of plumbers and electricians try to drill holes through studs. Well, this bad boy right here punches them. Okay, so you can change the head here to different diameters, up to 100 millimeters. And it's just like literally as it says, it punches the hole in the stud. I think you can do 18 gauge, 20 gauge, and of course 25 gauge, no problem. They also have these little inserts that go in the hole to just help. This company has other things like attachments for steel stud, they call them boxes, right? Like plumbing boxes where they literally just go in between the studs and then they hold all the piping sturdy, right, for all the penetrations. But yeah, this is a really heavy tool. It's expensive. I think it's a few grand actually for this thing. But it would be something like a company would buy, right? Not necessarily a worker, but it's a pretty cool tool. So I'm excited about this. I want to get it in action. I'm working with this panel company out of California, and this will be like, I think this will be boss level for like panel manufacturers and stuff like that. Okay, but yeah, literally instead of drilling holes, this just punches the hole right in the stuff for you, and there we go. But yeah, it's super heavy too. Holy cow! That's good thing it's got a handle. But yeah, Peter Olson, man, shout out Peter Olson for sending me that. And I know we're going to work together on some things and try to get this tool out there, but just to kind of make you guys aware that there's different tools out there, so you don't have to just drill holes in the stud, because that's just such a pain in the butt. It doesn't work that great in a lot of scenarios, right? But yeah, no, it's a neat tool. So I'm going to learn lots more about that. All right, you guys are ready for the prints? Excellent, man. Who is Lolo? Right on. And then yeah, shout out to my buddies over at ExactView Restoration here. He's got a new laser engraver for like metal. So what I'm going to planning on hoping to do is I have to run it by these guys, but I'd like to get my logo, like Construction Kronies, do a collaboration. You know, kind of print my name on some of these tools, right? But so what kind of drawings are you guys like? Are you guys in like commercial, industrial, and residential, like houses or something? Let me know in the chat. You guys have any questions? Let me know in the chat. I'll definitely answer you guys. Let me pull up the first set of prints, or actually what I actually have right here. So when you bid a project, you get a package. Okay, it's a bid package, and it'll have like general requirements, and then there's sometimes there's specifications that are in like divisions called under something called master format. And what master format does is it divides all of the trades into like just numbers. Okay, so when designers do their specs, they can put the specs for each division in order. Okay, and it's all nicely organized, and there's a whole bunch to specifications, but it's not that complicated. Don't be like, let me just switch to Pip here. Don't be intimidated by this kind of stuff. Okay, it's simply just knowing your specific divisions and reading it, and what it'll do is it'll like specify products. It'll tell you what you need to do for like submittals and this and that, blah blah blah. And if you're bidding or pricing a job, okay, this will kind of tell you what the specifications of the products you need to use on this job. Okay, and it'll also specify like specific companies that you need to use as well. Hey Ralph, what's happening, man? Yeah, right on. 4 floors, high condo. In Toronto, excellent, man. Residential. So let's you know what, I wonder if I got the Bentley one on here. That's a good one. I might have to pull that one off the hard drive. Let me plug in that hard drive, because I think on that one I got some extra stuff. Hold on here. Where did that go? Oh shoot. Where are you? Oh, is it in the drive here? In the bin? Come on, man. Should be right here, but just so we got it, I want to just make sure. Okay, so it's got to be on my table here somewhere. Everything's a mess in here, guys. Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Damn it. What the hell? Oh, shit. Okay, where the fuck would it be? Damn it. Where are you? Okay, what the fuck? Boom, shit. That's strange. Huh. Alright. Alrighty. Oh no, it's right. Okay, never mind. It's already plugged in. It's already plugged in. Of course it is. Okay. Let me just check it out. because I think there's actually a 4-story walk-up like condo in on the drive here. Let me just see. Yeah, right here. SS to go. If I go here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I think. Oh, that's a bummer. Nope, it's not on here. Shoot. I don't know why I did this, but I loaded a whole bunch of like videos on here, and I remember that stream. I did that a while ago, but that's okay. No worries. No worries, man. I will make sure to get that on there for the next time. So I'm thinking I'm going to do this probably. I'm going to do blueprints and estimating kind of thing, like once a week or every second week. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's just so weird. I'm in the middle of like a transition period right now with the channel, trying to figure out what to do with content going forward. Commercial and residential. All right. Excellent. Yeah. And Toronto is my hometown. So that's where I'm originally from. And, I'm in Edmonton now, but, I started steel stud drywall down in Toronto, and, but because like it's a big union town, I wasn't working in big huge projects. So when I moved out west here into Edmonton, I was like instantly right away, boom, massive big projects, big stuff. So we're gonna make it kind of simple for you guys at this time. What's in this one? That one's empty. I'm just trying to see here. Oh, that's too bad. What's this one? This is an issued for tender. This is a big one here. Yeah, this is I know it's probably better if I go full screen for this. Let me. Oh yeah, full screen. Boom. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a good question. So, what's the best way to square a wall that's already fixed? The bathroom with the bathtub has to be 60 inches or 60 feet, right? Like probably like it's 5 feet by 5 feet wide, right? But if I square off the sidewall, everything else goes out of square. So yeah. So here's the thing, right? You gotta find some sort of being square isn't the be all end all in a sense, but what you want to do is you gotta make sure you kind of check. Okay, so if I actually pull up, I can explain it better on a different set of drawings. Let me just pull up something with like in a CRU, right? Oh, I think this one would be good. Right. Okay, yeah, this would be perfect. So what you want to do is you gotta, all your grid lines come from center of column, center of or inside your grade beams. Okay, and if your demising walls weren't done right and they weren't like shot from center of center of column, and it's on like a little bit of an angle, then all the walls inside are going to follow that. Okay, you can do the whole 3, 4, 5 trick and like make sure that that your wall is square. Sure, you can do that. But and then what I would do is just recommend looking up the 3, 4, 5 trick like on YouTube. I don't have that video on that, but you probably could find a million of them on YouTube, right? That could square out your wall. But what we're dealing with here is we're basically just going to start somewhere somewhere along like on a demising wall usually, right? And we're gonna let me get my pencil out. We're gonna start laying out walls inside. So let me just go down to this bathroom. Oh crap, I hate when I do that. Let me just go boom. Let's go to the floor plan. Is that the floor plan? I suppose. Okay, so this is the bathroom right here. So what I do in this situation right here is I'm gonna basically go off of the outside wall here, and the measurements are gonna come off. See the hash? Oh my god, that's way too thick. See how the hash marks are on the inside of the wall? Okay, these are your hash marks. Okay, they're going to tell you where to take your number from. So you got to watch where the line is. Sometimes it's at center, inside. It could be outside too, right? In which, if in that case, you got to take it off. But in this bathroom right here, I'm going to just come out. You want to make sure everything fits for sure. Okay, I understand that. So say the bathtub is like right here. Okay, you want to just make sure you got that enough room in there for that to fit. So if you just keep your numbers coming off of the same side, basically pick a side, right? So right here we're going to come off of this outside wall and then maybe this back wall. Okay, and then you take your numbers off of the same. Everything should be good. Like this wall, this demising wall here, I framed it so I know it's perfectly center to column. Okay, and like you don't need to have a blueprint to show you where to put a demising wall. Okay, it literally just goes center to column. And then what you want to do is you check either side. Okay, from this wall to there, from this wall to here, to make sure it's straight. Okay, that you have the same number. And then you'll snap your front line, and then boom, everything else is going to be square after that. It's like, like it's not a big thing. Like, you just definitely want to make sure everything's fitting. And if say another crew came in and they really screwed up and say the wall's like on an angle like this, right? You're gonna know right away, because you're just going to measure from side to side. Okay, like you just want to check from the exterior wall to the demising wall, from the exterior wall to the demising wall, and make sure that number is the same. Okay, if it is, then you know it's square. Everything else should just fall into place. So even if you need to do a control line, okay, like if you're in a big building, like in a 4-story condo building, just find the columns, okay, and snap a line. You can mark the centers, sure, but what you want to do is mark. Let me just blow this page up so it's like super. You can see this really clear. I'm still kind of boom. Oh shit. Let me just go. If you need to do a control line to check for square, okay, just literally find the column somewhere. And this is where all your grid lines are going to be. You see how B is here? Okay, this grid line B, it's center to column here, center to center. All right, so find this column. Find a column and go and find the center. And then what I do though is I don't snap the line center to center. What I do is I just kind of come out to the edge so I can snap it the whole way. But that's normally when I'm going this way, actually, sorry. But you could definitely snap a line center to center going on the short distance this way. And then that way, you can check for square that way. So this wall here it's not going to give you the measurements from center of this column, okay? These numbers are coming off other walls, but what you can check is to see if this wall here, okay, is the same distance from the control line to the front, okay? Control line to the front. And then see how it kind of continues all the way over here to this kitchen wall. This wall here, this little stubby wall, should also have the same distance from there over. Going the other way, it's the same thing, okay? You just check it. Go center to column, okay? Center to center to column. And you got it? Okay, excellent. Okay, right on, dude. It's just so easy. It's not going to give you your numbers. The blueprints are going to tell you your numbers from the center, but you can just check on your layout to make sure it's straight. If it's not, that's how you know, oh, I just got to adjust it like this or whatnot, right? Simple. The structural steel, the columns tell all, okay? Those are where your grid lines are. That's basically what you follow. Good stuff. Got it. Yeah, I'm glad. Good stuff. Yeah, so blueprints are pretty, they're not like too hard, okay? And they're just, and mostly like it's important to follow the prints, yes, but in some situations you got to make changes. All right, like the most important thing of all is that all of the equipment fits. All right, or like in the bathroom, for example, the tub fits and all this. Okay, so it's what steel stud framers and drywallers need to get into more of a habit of doing is talking to the general contractor and verifying everything. Okay, so when you talk to other trades and you say, oh, like the blueprint says that you need this for whatever. What do you need? Like, do you need a little more room? How about you guys give me an opening size? Tell me where to go. Another thing that happens a lot is the plumbing. Okay, the in-ground plumbing isn't going to always line up. It's going to be a little bit off. Okay, those guys tend to be the worst. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Vedran, what's up, man? Good. I'm been very good. How you been, my man? Good to see you. You gotta just, sometimes you gotta adjust for the plumbing, but sometimes you can't. So the first thing is first, all of the special equipment, like in this instance, it's a kitchen, has to fit inside. Okay. So what I ultimately do even is, if you look at this portion right here, for example, it looks pretty tight on the drawing between here and here. Okay. Give it an extra inch, man. So bring this front wall out an inch. Who cares, right? No one's going to care that this wall's out an inch, okay? You want to make sure all of this fits nice and there's no fussing about, okay? And then, but when you do that, you just got to push everything else out another, inch or whatnot, you know what I mean? Hey, Kyle, right on, man. Welcome to the Crony line. Appreciate you guys. Right on, man. Right on. I really appreciate that membership, man. That's awesome, dude. Hulk Hogan, yeah, I love it. What is Hulk Hogan? Is Hulk Hogan's over a year, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Right on, man. I appreciate that, dude. Right on. Yeah. So I mean, just the biggest thing is to not be intimidated, and the second thing is to always ask questions. Okay, when in doubt, communication is the most important thing. Okay, the other trades are gonna love it. Like you want to talk to people, make sure that their stuff is going to fit. You know what I'm saying? Message retracted. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, shit. Let me just dump that for a second. Yeah, right. And then some of the things that we want to learn is, like which everyone wants to be on the same page. So if the plumbers are doing their in-ground off the back wall, then you want to do your wall layout from the back wall. If they're doing it from the front, then you want to do it from the front. Okay, and that's a communication thing. You can just ask right off the top. So did you guys go off the front wall or the back wall? And then you do the same. Simple as that. Lucky enough to get in ahead of time and do all the layout. And then the plumbers would come in, cut it all up, but get their in-ground in, and then then they'd fill it, and then I'd come back and do the layout again. But that would just make sure everything was perfect, everything fit. Okay, you can't always move a wall because of equipment issues and stuff like that. Okay, so it's very critical in a kitchen type situation. And when you're in a condo building, it's basically you're just you're going off of your grid line. You're just making sure first you go along and you lay out your demising walls, right, and then you do your inside walls. That's typical. Okay, a lot of times guys will just do the demising walls, and then sometimes a different company will even come in and do the inside of the. Also got to get used to working on site with multiple trades, and sometimes you'll have multiple drywall companies, multiple framing companies on one site doing different things. Okay, sometimes there'll be a base building contractor, and then there'll be an interior contractor. And then the interior contractor might even sub out like the insides, great? So base building normally does demising walls, but say in a condo building situation, those demising walls would be more of the interior guys, right? But yeah, it's sometimes the big contracts, you can have multiple drywall steel stud contractors on one site, okay? Boom. But yeah, learning these hash marks is severely important. So this one here is good because it kind of shows you a couple different kinds. So if I kind of zoom in a little bit closer, you can see these are your hash marks. Look at this one here. Okay, this is so frustrating. This is the worst one. You get see how it stops here, and then you have this wall, and then it starts on the other side. Like that sucks. So the best hash marks are the ones that goes from center of everything. Okay, those are the best ones. But what you need to do is this for example, this 8'9", okay, and then this 5 foot. Let's just back up a bit here. Same thing. All right, so you got another number here. That this is the front of the walk-in cooler, which has nothing to do with steel stud. But yeah, you're going 6 foot from the inside of the back wall. That's drywall finished. Okay, that's not from steel. That's right from the drywall finish. 6 foot, make a mark. Then you go over 14 foot 9 inch to the inside of this back bathroom wall. Right, and then you got to find the wall type. In this situation, this is going to be 3 5/8 with 1/2 inch on either side. Okay, so you're going to go 4 5/8 basically. Okay, from this mark over to the start of the 8 foot 9 inch, and then same thing here. Okay, you mark your 8 foot 9 inch there. Then you got to go over another 4 5/8, make another mark, and then you go 5 foot. If you know what I mean. Okay, it's really weird, but that's the way this guy decided to do it. The best marks always go from center to center. Those are the best walls. Okay, you got to make sure you know the wall type. So let's just take a look here. There should be like a schedule for that. Let's see, or some sort of like there we go, right there. So this is the number one thing you do first is you go to your wall type schedule. If you're doing base building, okay, then the W's are more important to you because W's are wall, which are usually exterior. Okay, P stands for partition, and that means interior. Okay, so if you're doing the interior package, then you're just paying attention to the partitions. Okay, you don't pay attention to the W's. You do need to know sometimes if they're not giving you the numbers or whatnot, especially when they put a demising wall as a wall type, as a W or something like that, right? For example, all designers do things differently. It's so bizarre. I know there should be more standards, but some of the things that are pretty typical are the overall kind of like, you know, how do you say, the specifications, or sorry, the contract. Whatever's inside the contract will trump whatever's in the specifications. The specifications will trump whatever is in the details, okay? The details will trump whatever inside of the drawings, all right? So the drawings will be all the other things, like your floor plans or your cut-throughs, like your elevations or, you know, through types, okay? Those would be your basic drawings, and then you have details. The details on the drawing will trump anything that's inside of the drawings, okay? But those details will be trumped by specifications, which will be trumped by whatever's inside a contract. So contract includes things like the contract itself, or addendums. Okay, addendums become a part of the contract and the drawings and all that. They're addendums, changes to the drawings. Okay, so I don't want to be confusing anybody here, but you just got to kind of know the order of documentation. And if you're a foreman, you need to have all of the information. Okay, if you don't have it, then you're screwed. Okay. And if somebody just hands you prints, and you're a foreman, or the foreman hands you the print saying this is your, do you think it's a good idea to make a video teaching tricks and the best way to do the layout, showing the drawings? Yeah, Ralph, man, that has been the hardest thing for me to like logistically do. It's so hard to, but maybe if I had somebody with me who was like interested in all in on this thing with me, but doing it solo, it's been so hard to do that proper. I know I've been trying to figure out how to do a really good layout video for so long. I've been doing it on YouTube for, oh God, I'm in my 7th year, and that is the one thing that's been really hard to figure out how to do proper. I don't know if it's maybe if I had a proper studio and setting and team to do it, no problem. I could do it, but doing it on site is proven to be very challenging. You just got to make sure you're kind of like getting the hints. Like if you could see the site here, like I will start, like I was saying, you pick a way to start from. On this side here, I like, you know, this wall up against this wall is a furring wall. That's simple. Okay. Like you don't need to know junk about that. Okay. You just put your track tight up to the wall, no biggie, right? Bulkheads, like, let me see a wall, but we know there's a big bulkhead above it, so you got to make sure you can kind of see where like you're gonna need to add bulkhead like header. So for example, on this one here, you'd have to put a header across from this end of this wall to this wall to pick up the back end of this ceiling / bulkhead, right? Or soffit bulkhead, whatever you say. If we just drop down to the ceiling, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, right there. Okay. Now this is a ceiling bulkhead, and that's a funny thing about these. That not a lot of the times you're gonna get accurate instructions on how to build these things. So what I do is I just basically drop a 3 5/8 bulkhead all the way along the perimeter of this, and then drop you got a header across here at the elevation, maybe. Oh no, see here it's 7 feet, so it's 2 feet below. Okay, so they're gonna have a 2 foot reveal along this bulkhead, and then you can tie this ceiling into it. Yeah, so you got to do a lot of this designing yourself. Okay, and when you're ordering materials and all that, it's tough. I know you need to know the building elevations for example. Okay, and if the bulkhead's at 9 foot, then you need a 9 foot stud base number for stud. Okay, like studs are normally like 8, 10, 12. 9 foot is actually, you know, it's a little bit of a weird size. Okay, you can cut 16s in half. So say the building's 16 feet or whatever. You know, hey, right on, Carlos. Appreciate you, man. Hey. Oh, hey, that'd be sick, dude. Yeah, no way. Ralph, man, totally. Yeah, if you want to collaborate, absolutely. We can totally do it, man. Yeah, 100%, man. If you shoot me an email, chris@constructionkronies.com, man, we can talk about that for sure. Oh, 100%, man. Yo, that's dope. That's really dope. All right. Yeah, right on, Carlos. Awesome. I love it. But yeah, like that's the thing. Like, so they're not gonna, even the details aren't gonna show you. Like, let's just look at these details here. Okay. We don't need to know a lot about too much. Okay. Like, this is a small drawing. Like, you're not going to have really any cut throughs or anything like that. And I'm definitely looking for more people to donate drawings that I can actually use, because I don't want to get nailed with copyrights and stuff like that. I will definitely going to pull out some of the bigger drawings that I do have, because I do have some bigger ones. This is your fire rating plan right here, this yellow dash line. Okay. Is your fire plan. This double layer 5/8 on either side of, or on the inside of this wall. That's an exterior wall, but on this demising wall, double layer 5/8 on either side. Oh no, that's right. This is a different job. I built all these jobs too. This wall here, yes, double layer 5/8 both sides. Here's the basic base building. Okay. It's good to check through the general notes on these smaller jobs for sure, but let's just keep going here. I want to check the details. There's got to be details. These symbols here, what I do, sorry, base, I've totally forgot up. So what I do, hey, is that Chris Compton there, man? Yeah, right on, brother. Good to see you. Right on. I highlight these. So P1, P2, P3, I highlight with different colors. And then when I'm on the floor plan, I just highlight them in the respected color. That way I know. So sometimes you got to be careful, like especially on this one, you got to know if it's 5/8 drywall, 1/2 inch drywall. You got to have the numbers right to take, add, and subtract. Okay, because when you're doing layup, you're doing steel. Okay, you're just doing steel. So this, for example, this 8 foot 9 inches right here. If this is 1/2 inch drywall, which it is on this job, on this wall, you still got to go, 8 foot 9.5 to the steel. Okay. And then from that steel mark, you go over 3 5/8. Okay. But then this 5 foot won't start for another 1/2 inch after that 3 5/8, if you know what I mean. Okay, it's just take your time, find out what size of drywall is on what, and that way you can add and subtract. Okay, like it's not that hard really. And break, if it's a big, huge, massive job, just break it into smaller sections. Okay, don't get overwhelmed. Just find a small section and work from section to section. Don't be worried about if you're losing square or whatever. Okay, you can always resquare and calibrate as you go, and that's what I mean, following center of column. Okay, by drawing grid lines and just checking. Okay. Oh yeah, shoot, yeah, you can totally DM me on X. I will check. I'm not on X a whole lot, but you can totally. I will check. I'll get the notification on my phone, but I can type my email right here too. Yeah, and I think it's at Chris Conkle1 is my Twitter. Oh, it's actually on my. You could probably see it on the screen. No, you can't. But it's at Chris Conkle1 for Twitter. But yeah, dude. So I just wanted to kind of check. We'll talk about doors as well here. And this here. See, equipment specifications. This is important when you're doing a restaurant because you want to make sure things fit no matter what. Okay, it's not a big deal to move a wall. You got to understand the client is never, ever, ever. I've never, ever, ever had a client come and pull out a tape measure and to make sure, and the blueprints to make sure the walls are in the right spot they're supposed to be. Okay, if you're like doing a big condo building, the demising walls are going to be center of the structure. Okay, so that is kind of on the okay, so. If we got to adjust things and it's a huge, massive job, make sure to keep notes. Just keep notes of everything. Say, I changed this wall in this unit because of this. Okay? Simple notes. Note taking, having a journal when you're doing layout or any kind of management or anything like any kind of coordinating, estimating, journals are huge. Always keep a journal. Just write it down, a quick little note, why you did what you did. Okay, if you talk to somebody on site and they told you to do something, put it in your journal. Say, this guy at this time told me to do this because of this. Okay, it's just good to have a journal, and that's what I mean. You can check here. This is they get these kitchen equipment specifications that are going to give you dimensions. That way, you can make sure to double check that the architect has it right. Okay, it's important when you see a tight space like this, there's no room for error here, right? So automatically just add an inch. So this 17'1", I go 17'2". You know what I mean? And then on the other side here, that means I put the bathroom over also at 17'2", basically from that same mark. You know, you got to make sure you're adding, and if you add a bit to one side, you got to do it on the other to keep it square. Okay. It's not really hard. Once you get used to it, man, you'll fly through this so fast. Like, it's just a matter of repetition and doing it more and more and more. And then, of course, if anything's ever wrong, they're going to bitch, right? Like, so you just don't want them to bitch. That's it. That's all you want to do. Like, you look in the front of house here, there's tons of room in the front of house here. Lots of room for the dining room. So it ain't going to matter if this bulkhead and these walls are over out here a couple more inches. You know what I mean? 2 inches ain't going to do nothing. It's in the back because the equipment's going to fit, right? Yeah, you can kind of see here's some symbols here, right? Every set of drawings should have a symbol legend on it as well. Okay, so you can check that out. But this is lights right here. You can see this is typical, the little circle with the crosshairs through it. Pendant lights with the X, your exit signs, emergency lights. Look at that. This is a recessed LED fixture. That's usually like that L2. That's usually inside a T-bar. So when you're doing your T-bar, that means you don't put a tile in where the lights are. Okay, you just leave that tile out. And then sometimes there should be like if there's like diffusers, right? That means if there's a diffuser in here, then you're going to put a 2 foot across. So even if you don't have 2x2 grid, you always get extra 2 foot lengths for T-bar for diffusers and things like that. Okay, it's good to have. Always good to have. But yeah, there's always going to be some sort of legend for the symbols. you can see right here, for example, okay, so GB gypsum board, that's a gypsum board ceiling or whatever. You got 10 foot, that's your elevation, okay? So some guys will think, okay, so do I add an extra inch to that for tile or flooring or whatever? You can, sure. Yeah, absolutely. The elevation, if you go a little bit higher, is never going to be a problem. It's when you go lower, might be a problem, okay? So if you want to go 10 foot one, go 10 foot one. Give some room for flooring and stuff. Sure, if you want, no problem. Just make sure all your doors, your door headers are all at the same elevation. So what I do is when I'm doing or at least within view. So if you have a hallway full of doors, okay, you shoot your laser from one end of the hallway all the way to the other, and you check. Especially if it's concrete, you check your elevations, your high, low side, okay, and you find out where the low sides are, and then you mark it off in the high, okay. Simple as that. Just put all your headers at the same elevation, though. You don't want to have a hallway where the door trim is up and down or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just it's silly. Let me just zoom out of this for a quick sec. See if there's anything else on here. Okay. Boom. But yeah, keynotes. It never hurts to read the keynotes or anything. It never hurts to read more. It's what's this here? Let me just kind of zoom in on this detail. What's this detail all about here? I always laugh at details because our architects don't understand steel stud, or the computers definitely don't draw it. Oh yeah, that's the walk-in cooler. So this is just a wall. This sealant has nothing to do with us, but you can see that they wanted to that's your, what's this about? Oh, here, drywall ceiling. This looks like it's probably T-bar. Yes, T-bar ceiling. Here's your wall. So this is telling you that it wants drywall 4 inches above T-bar. So if your T-bar is at 10 feet, what we'll normally do is we'll use 12-foot studs. Okay, that way we don't have to cut anything. We'll just float 12-foot studs all in the whole place, and then we'll only drywall you have to get 12-foot sheets to drywall too, because if the ceiling's at 10 feet, you can't use 10-foot drywall. You need to go with 12-foot sheets. But what we do sometimes, and actually quite a lot of the times, is we'll just cut 6 inches or a foot off of that sheet, and we'll drywall 11 feet. Okay, especially when it's 5/8, cutting that extra foot and a bit can actually make a difference when you're doing 90 sheets or something like that. Okay, but this doesn't tell you it has to exactly be at 4 inches above. It just has to be at minimum 4 inches above the T-bar. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, Bob, man, that's true, right? That's facts, man. The drawings I get are always crap. Detail bubbles always take you to the wrong details, etc. Do you have any tips for taking off attic draft stop on pitched roofs? No, not really. I don't do a whole lot of that. I you know what? I could pull up I went on my next stream. I'm gonna make a couple notes here. And I'm gonna I have a whole bunch of drawings. They're steel stud houses that we did. Okay, I'll pull up those drawings. But yeah, I get that. I know that, but that's the thing. You need to make sure if anything's not clear, to just ask the question. Get it into the general contractor, the superintendent, whatever. Get it in there right away. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could totally pull it up. Here, hold on a second. Yeah, because it's probably going to be cooler than the ones I got right now. I should have put up more cooler drawings, because these ones are getting older. The draft stops are just basically you want to make sure that I know but on steel stud, what did they do? I'd have to remember what the hell they did there. I wasn't around for that, but I'd have to check in on that. But yeah, I'm going to look into that too for you, Bob. I'm going to check into that for you as well. Oh yeah, this is that whole goddamn water tank thing. FRP is wonderful because you don't have to see, there's not a whole lot of details here, but when there is a detail, you got to kind of make sure you're following the right thing. But yeah, this is good. Yeah, so this is detail A on page detail C here or whatever on page A6.1. So what he's talking about there is about the bubbles, okay? And there's not a whole bunch of that in this set, but I bet you the one, if I do have bigger drawings that have bubbles. Let me just kind of look. See, there should be one here to tell you there's a detail, but there isn't even one here, right? Like, all right, let's just see what he's got. And I just got to shut this for a second until I can pull up my email. Boom. Oh, come on, you punk ass. Always. Yeah, it's just downloading. It takes some time, because of my virus software has to scan everything, which is good because if you can imagine, I have to have quite a bit of security. Holy shit, guys! So I was on Roger Wade, a $3,000 leak detection kit. So $3,000 US, pretty crazy, pretty nice kit. So what I'm gonna do is, because I'm working with the restoration company, is we're gonna add the leak detection and to our service, to the service roster, okay? And that's gonna be really cool, man. Oh yeah, here we go. Now this is a good set. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you for the set. And I need more drawings. Yeah, guys, if you guys could send me drawings, I'd love it. I could totally go over your drawings here on stream anytime, man. Getting used to this again. Let's go back to the full screen. Boom. All right. Yeah, so this is a typical CRU type. Is this a CRU? Block level, low level? Yeah, these will be like more than likely commercial spots, no? Okay, so this is just one page, but let's blow it in. Okay, let's look at this, and then I got to go to the damn hand. The pan man. All right, so yeah, you got different. Oh no, these are big units. Oh wow, these are nice sized units. Excellent. Okay, so what we got going on here? So you were wondering about the square of the bathroom. Okay. Your grid lines are, you can tell, see, L4, L5, and so on. Center of the demising wall. Okay, so this demising wall, if it's done right, it's going to be perfect. Meaning all the numbers, measurements that come off of it are going to be square. All you need to do is check the distance on the back and the front. Okay, and if it's different, you know it's not square. If it's the same, then you know you're square. That way, everything else going on inside will be square when you take those numbers off. One quick check is also if it's a square, like if it's like square, then the number from each corner, right, should also be the same. If you know what I mean, you go corner to corner, okay, that should be the same. If that makes sense. But yeah, and something like this, yeah, yours is pretty cool. So you got this is probably a bulkhead ceiling here. The raised foyer, this is bulkhead ceiling, probably like, around here. And then you got drywall ceiling. This is open to the concrete above. I'm sure it's a concrete built, like concrete above or whatever, right? And then this dashed is drywall. When you got these like squiggly lines around here, that's a cloud. And somewhere in that cloud, it should tell you, Oh yeah, no, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, yeah. Same thing if you're doing like a wood wall, like how you measure corner to corner and then you stand it up. Yeah, it's the same concept. Yeah, it should be the same number, right? But yeah, you got her, brother. You got her. Yeah, it's like these are nice units, man. These are big, and if they're in Toronto, they're expensive. So I'm looking here. These clouds should have a reference to something. It's like, let me just blow it up a little closer here. Maybe it could be this. It could be this, maybe, but I'm not. Usually at the end of the cloud, it'll have some sort of like. I guess is it this 4 maybe 4, like a change order. Usually the cloud means there's an addendum, like a change order. You got to get the freaking the addendum to get the detail, okay? But you can see partitions are like in these diamonds here, and then if you go to the wall, it's going to be this like different shape, okay? I don't know I don't know what kind of shape it is, but you see it's long with the different shape. That's W01 is exterior wall. There you go. See, W10, it's a diamond, but because it's base building, it's a W and not a P for partition, okay? Because all demising walls are base building. Only things that are in between the exterior walls in these demising walls are partitions, okay? So yeah, P21, right? And then you got your door schedule, and the thing is too with the doors. So basically, if you're always going to be safe if your door schedule says it's 36 inches, make your RO 38, 2 inches bigger, right? You can always make it work that way. But if you really want to make it perfect, you simply go to the door installer or the general contractor and you say, give me the ROs for your door types, okay? Let's get this right. Let's not have any screw ups. Let's get these door types nailed down, the ROs, so that we have no issues. And they're going to do it no problem. No problem, okay? They're never going to say, oh, what, this guy doesn't know what he's doing? No, never, ever. They're always going to be like, yeah, let's do it. No problem, okay? That's the way to do it, okay? Look at this double 6-inch insulated, probably double layer 5/8 with an inch of airspace in between, most likely. Look at this, right? So you got your plumbing, your pipes are along this back wall. It's got a 6-inch wall, I'm pretty sure. This P22 is a 6-inch wall, and the P21 is a 3 and 5. It's, and then of course insulated, good stuff. You got a drywall ceiling in there. It's weird. It's got, or is that can't be T-bar. There's no way that's T-bar. It's got like some weird grid, but it could be the tile underneath. I don't know, but it's probably I'm going to assume this is all drywall because there's going to be overhead plumbing and electrical and stuff like that and HVAC, okay? And this is very typical. Yeah, right on, buddy. Yeah. Nice, right? So this is very, very typical where this middle part right here will be higher, and there's just be like painted concrete basically, and sometimes they'll put texture on it, and then they got these bulkheads along the sides for like HVAC and stuff like that, okay? And then it's very typical for the ceiling to stop with a bulkhead at the end of the kitchen, and then the living area will always have kind of go up because they don't put lights either in here, but sometimes there will be light boxes embedded in the concrete ceiling, okay? But a lot of living rooms / dining rooms do not have overhead lights in them. Doors, ensuite, master bedroom, second bedroom. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, pretty straightforward. This one here is a little bit different. So this W12, this could be, this is probably like concrete here or something. Okay, this is going to be something different, this W12. So it's probably concrete. Yeah, they do. Lauren S. That's actually a really good question. So, any wall that goes from the bottom, like the floor, so the concrete or the wood, whatever it is, any single wall that goes from the floor to the structure has to have slot track. Drawings do not show you that, but the drawings will tell you which walls need to be all the way up. So for example, if we go back to mine, just simple drawing here for a second. Well, I can show you quickly on this. I know for a fact if you go to this ceiling plan, okay, it takes the ceiling plan and the floor plan. So this front of house here, that means there's no ceiling at all. It's all open to structure. So this dotted yellow line here is going to show you which walls have to go all the way up. So just this little short section here, basically. This is the bathroom. This wall here, these studs are going to be like 16 to 18 feet long. This wall has to use slot track. Every wall back here has to only go 4 inches above T-bar. So like I said, the T-bar is at 10'6". We're using 12-foot studs. Okay, and then we're drywalling to 11 feet. That's I remember what I did here. So yeah, because the drywall only has to go 4 inches above. These studs do not go to the Q deck or do not go to the structure above, which could be concrete, Q deck, whatever, joists, you know. Only walls that go from floor to the top of structure have to have slot track. All of the other walls, you only use standard track. Okay? So every single wall that goes from the bottom to the top has to use slot track. Bulkheads, all standard track, because again, they're just hanging from the ceiling. Okay, and then partitions that are just going above T-bar or whatever, same thing. They're going just above T-bar, floor, or whatever. They actually do not. There's nothing that impacts like the contraction expansion like that. Nothing to impact that whatsoever. Does that make sense, Lauren? So even on this drawing right here, okay, all of these walls in the back here, so these demising walls for 100%, anything fire rated also has to go from the floor to the deck. Okay, we'll say deck we call it's U/S, which means underside of structure. Okay. Anything fire rated has to go to underside of structure. So demising walls, of course, are underside of structure, but also anything not fire rated that is going to be exposed. So that means drywall has to go all the way up and taped and finished because it's all exposed. That also needs to be slot track. So whatever these walls are here, okay, the ceiling height, for example, I don't know. Let's just say these types are usually pretty tight, pretty close, you know. But say all these walls are like, say you only have 10 feet in between your floors. You're just going to use slot track everywhere and go all the way up. You're not going to float track, okay, or float walls. You know what I mean? You're going to put all of these walls from floor to structure. Okay, and the bulkheads might drop down to 8 feet, to 9 feet, just to give that little bit of room for ductwork or electrical and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Plumbing, sprinklers, whatever. If that makes any sense. Hopefully that should make sense. But yeah, you can see all of these walls here are going to be above ceiling. I'm just assuming this dashed is like a drywall ceiling. Okay, and then look at even in the back here in the bedrooms, same thing. This is going to be concrete here. Oh yeah, every single exterior wall automatically has slot track. Yeah, because those need to go from structure. And when you're doing the exterior, if you're not drywalling, it's fine. But if you are having to drywall or do dense glass, for example, on the exterior, you need to put your expansion joints at the slot track as well. Okay, 3/4 inch gap in your drywall. Okay, so what I do is I'll just drywall up to the bottom of the slot track. And then I'll use a 3/4 inch spacer, usually just a piece of plywood, and then I'll start my from the top of that slot track to the parapet will be just screwed in to the slot track or whatever. Screws, So it depends on what you're doing, but yeah. If you're screwing your slot track into Q deck, then yeah, those framing screws will hold, no problem. Sometimes you have to shoot it in, because if the Q deck is filled with concrete, then all of a sudden you got to start shooting it in with the Hilti shots. Okay, but believe it or not, I really believe that screws are stronger than Hilti shots. Okay, and like if you really want a strong wall, you're going to be drilling in 1/4 inch pin bolts, even. You know what I mean? But yeah, screws are strong. Screws are strong if you use them proper, and you have enough in. Like I remember seeing a whole parapet blow off of building once because they didn't put enough screws in. Okay, there was like one screw every 2 feet in the center or something like that. Big wind came along and blew it off, and it was literally membraned and dense glassed even. Okay, it was crazy, but yeah, absolutely, yeah, right on, Lord. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, 100%. Yes, 100%. You bet. And yeah, so that slot track is fire rated. Not is fire rated too. Okay. When I first started in steel stud and drywall, we had to use a 2-track system, which was way more complicated. There was like what we called a slip track, okay, and a deep track. So the deep track would go on, and then you'd use a 1-inch piece of rock sole inside of it, and then your slip track would go inside of that, and you would have to make sure it was an inch below, right? So we were marking it with marker, and then we would tack it in with wafers, and then when we drywalled, we would take those wafers out, okay, because that track had to move. When they came out with slotted track, it was the best thing, the best thing since sliced bread, damn it. Like, it was like, man, that old track system, it took so long to do those exterior walls. Holy shit, man. And that wasn't that long ago, really. Like, maybe it was maybe 20 years ago, but yeah, George and Joe Smith, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, I remember, like, too, when I was in school, we had a drafting class. Like, it was a part of shop, man. And yeah, we used to draw things on paper, and we would do CAD as well on the computer. But yeah, I miss, like, schools need to start teaching kids again about that sort of thing, you know? Because, man, it's awful. Like, yeah, those were really important. By an Iowan, by the way. Hey, right on. Shout out Iowa. I love it. But yeah, dude's like getting used to just the drawings, and like I I I'm pretty sure I was using the same one. We got. I mean, are we close? We might. I don't know how. I'm 45. I don't know how old you are, man, but I'm 45, and I think I remember AutoCAD 12, and because I remember floppy disks. I remember. When the first AutoCAD I had bought. I think it cost me like $1,300, and it came with it was like a dozen books, and each book had a CD in it. It was like, and each CD was a different part of it. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So you're older than me. Yeah, right on, brother. I got you. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember those old, because I used to do electrical. I did advanced electrical and telecommunications when I was in high school. We did these labs. God, what were they called? Those labs where you would build circuitry in it, and like those old, like, I don't know, Commodores or whatever. Oh man, oh, good old days, man. Yeah, I remember when trades were valued and they were taught in school. Like, damn. Yeah, I mean, I miss those days. Here we go. So you see this right here. When you see a bubble, like a circle like this, number 4, A430. So this is detail number 4 on page A4-30. And then you see this this little black arrow is going to show you what it's looking at. Okay, so if you want to see a detail that's showing you this, okay, that's what that is. Okay, let's see if I can find another one. Yeah, right here. Here's another example, okay? So this will be number 2 on A502, okay? And this is going to be, I'm going to say, Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, I scored all kinds of stuff too, from doing that. That was good. That was fun times. Oh, and this is in metric too. Oh, this is actually kind of nice. It's giving you both imperial and metric. I really do like metric. I kind of do wish we used metric more. It's just really more straightforward, you know. Like, but yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, oh man, that's awesome. I love that. That is cool, man. That is cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, so you can see here. This is your page number here. Okay, A2-31. And so block L, lower level. This is 1 on A231. Here's your scale. 1 to 50. So if you're in like estimating software, you plug this drawing in, then you just, this is the scale that you need to know, 1 to 50. If you print this proper, you send it to a printer to get printed to scale. Then your scale, your ruler scale, you just use the 1 to 50 scale to get measurements, is by using the scale. So I've used it a lot more. So never so much when doing layout and stuff. I mean, I definitely have, but it's more of an estimating thing. Yeah, there you go. So drop ceiling is just what I said it was, right? Lower ceiling, blah blah blah. But yeah, there's always going to be a legend for the symbols, and every print it should be anyways. And then you always want to make sure if you're estimating and stuff, okay, that you got the latest stuff. So when you submit a price to something, you want to say this is based on issued for tender drawing and issued for tender version 3, release 230613. Okay, that's important. Okay, and then if there's any addendums, you want to say and addendums 1 to 6 or 1 to 50, whatever. Okay, like you want to put in what you're pricing. Okay, because if you're pricing issued for RFI, issued 230217, and everyone else is pricing this one, you're not pricing the same thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, you want to put what you're pricing on all your quotes. Oh, this is right on Spadina. Oh, damn, son. Oh, that'd be a really nice building. I'm jealous. I miss Toronto sometimes. Like, you know, it's just so big and crazy. You know, like I do miss it. Because I used to live on Dundas West there in Dundas West Arts Building, right at the top of Roncesvalles. And I loved that. I loved it. It was so nice. Man, I walked everywhere. I used to work in film and television there too, eh? And man, I just had man, yeah, it's good times. My family still all lives there. I'll be back. I'll be down there in July myself. I'll be there at the end. But no, this is cool, man. Lots of different stuff to learn. Lots of stuff. But basically start small and work your way up, you know? Like, I don't know if I could find any more things that have details, but no, it's cool. I don't know if you've seen this one, Sergeant Joe Smith. Check this out. I do. Yeah, I do all my own estimating. I do all my estimating and material orders. I know I do all of that. It's been like, dudes, if you haven't noticed, guys, last year I was going live from site a lot. Well, I've lost almost all my bids this year. Okay, so my pricing strategy is good. It's really good. I'm just not prepared to lower my pricing strategy. It's not worth it than I was doing it last year. What I've been finding in Canada is all of the immigrants are starting construction companies, hiring only their immigrant buddies, and lowballing the shit out of us. I'm not prepared to do that. I will not bend the knee. I will not lower my prices. I'm not competing with that. One of the things also, and these contractors damn well know that I can look at a drawing and I know what's going to be extra. So when I submit my price, because I don't bill extras, okay? Sometimes I do, but I rarely bill extras. And the reason why is because I catch everything up front. And these guys know damn well I do. And I've told them what I've caught, and I know it's inclusive, and they know it. but they're under pressure now to lower costs. So they're just trying to like they're these guys are trying to screw us, and the contractors are trying to screw them. You know what I'm saying? It's a crazy game. I don't have anything against immigrants. Don't get me wrong. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm just saying I don't appreciate the games that everyone's playing, and I'm not playing games. I refuse to play them. So I haven't been winning any jobs. I haven't been winning them. These guys are bidding too low. There's been a ton of projects canceled. The new taxes in Canada also have just shut everything down. As soon as the 2024 budget was announced, immediately the industry dropped 11%. And that was only in April, or like in just like somewhere in April. So the numbers are going to be probably close to 30%. Oh, dude, I would totally too, Sergeant Joe Smith. I would, but I'm side of things, and I'm working with other partners and stuff. This is one of the things I'm working on here too, Sergeant Joe Smith. Is the chicken this overhead? Where is it? I'm just getting used to this still.
But yeah, this is the hole punch. This is a really nice tool from Peter Olson, and it's an attachment for a press, and it just punches the holes for the pipes. Okay, you can get different diameters up to 100 millimeter, and they have these inserts, and they have a couple other cool things. But if you go to Peter Olson's website, right? You can check it all out. But yeah, Peter Olson. So ULSON. Okay. But yeah, this is cool. So they're looking for sales reps in Alberta. So I'm trying to get that job. And I think I got it. I think we're going to be working on it. So I can probably still put a few of these. Because for the price of this compared to the price and the quality of drilling and like all the other crap that goes along with getting you know what I mean? Like this is fast, man, and precise. You know, this is a good tool. It's expensive, but it's a good tool. Is there an echo, guys? You guys have an echo? Shouldn't be an echo.
But yeah, it's been a hard year. It's been a really hard year. Hey man, all right, Israel snack. It's been tough. It's been tough up here in Canada, man. Our government has really screwed up everything, and then of course just letting in all these immigrants has screwed up things. And it's not the immigrants' fault. It's just that there's no control. There's no law. There's no legislation. There's nothing that is like these guys are building it cheap. They're not doing it right. They're building crap. And the inspectors are also like, they're also passing all of it, which is beyond me. It's just, everyone needs to get on the level, and there has to be fair wage laws. There has to be, we have to start checking in on people's training. Okay, because these guys are just hiring anyone and everybody, and they're not training them, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the owners, especially who are paying the good money, and which is also super inflated. Okay, but you got to understand, construction is already at like an 8 to 12% margin. Okay, and they just added another 10% tax on it. So it's like, what the hell are these? This government is just out of their minds, man. They're so corrupt and crooked. Suck all the money. Like, they're just robbing us blind everywhere, every which way. Like, god damn, we got to get these liberals out. Liberal NDP, the NDP too has sold us out, man. Like, oh god, they're the worst. The worst. Yeah, and that's another thing, Sergeant Joe Smith. So that's a good point. It shouldn't be up to the small guys to do the training. Okay, there needs to be training in school. There needs to be training, like more funding for apprenticeships, and then gearing up new construction workers, getting them tools and safety gear and stuff like that. Okay, that's where the money should be going. Our governments are giving these municipalities millions and millions of dollars, and it's going to bureaucracy. It's wasted. It's not going to anything good. All of the money, every single cent should be going into training. We got to get trades programs back in school, and we need to stop stigmatizing trades work, And here's a funny thing, okay? So being a for example, a police officer, okay, on the scale of dangerous jobs is like way down here. Construction is way at the top. Cops get paid twice as much as construction workers. They get benefits and full, like, they're pampered, okay? They're pampered babies. Construction workers don't get any of that. There's something wrong with that, okay? We need to fix this, okay? We're dying at higher levels now than we ever have been, guys. It's insane. Like yeah, right on, Bob. Yes, right on, yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing, because tradespeople are free thinkers. So when you can indoctrinate somebody in school, and then you send them to another institution and keep indoctrinating them, and then you put them in an office where they're still all in that same bubble, they're gonna vote for you forever. Tradespeople are free thinkers, man. Okay, you can't control tradespeople. That's why they don't like us. Okay, it's simple as that. It's that simple, guys. Yeah, and that's right. And you're right, Sergeant Joe Smith, 100%. I know. That's why there has to be something, because the way it's set up now isn't working. Okay, it's not working, and we need in Canada 5.6 million homes by 2030 just to support the population we have today. The Liberals are saying 3 million. They're lying. We need 5.6 million. We're also short 250,000 workers right now. And they're only saying 80,000. But we're short 250,000 right now. We brought in 500,000 immigrants last year. Only 400 of them work in the trades. Also, they're building all these apartments. They're building up rentals and rentals and rentals. They're not building houses. And all of Canada this year will be lucky to build 35,000 homes this year. 35,000. They're going to say, oh, yeah, we built 200,000 homes. You did not build 200,000 homes. You built 35,000 homes, and you built 170,000 rentals is what you did. And that's another reason why prices are so high. Yeah, well, I mean, we'd be worse off if Chrystia Freeland took over. Like, she'd be worse. We'd also be worse if Mark Carney took over. He'd be worse. Trudeau isn't the worst, believe it or not, on the Liberal Party. He's not the worst. It could be Chrystia Freeland. It could be Mark Carney. And either of those would be devastating to Canada. Okay? Yeah, so Trudeau actually isn't the worst, believe it or not. And that's so funny, Sergeant Joe Smith. We have all these guys from India protesting our government right now to stay in Canada so that they can work at Tim Hortons. What the why? Why would we let you stay in Canada to work at Tim Hortons? We need you to be working in construction, man. If you wanted to work in construction, there's tons of immigration programs for that, but nobody wants to do it. And I'm telling you, it's because you're not paid enough. You're not paid enough. Like, don't get me wrong, I was making good money. Last year I made great money. I did really good, but now it's just like, it's just not there anymore. It's crazy. And they stigmatized it. Man. They made it more dangerous. It's crazy. But yeah, there has to be standards. We have to rethink how we do things, and yeah, there has to be standards. Like, there has to be minimum wage laws, and minimum wage rates even, for the builders. Okay, like it's awful. These companies are really at a loss. It's crazy trying to juggle this climate. It's got to be. I know it's difficult. It's very difficult, and it's because the government is screwing everything up. In every way possible, too. It's awful. It's awful, man. It's really bad. Oh yeah, yeah, and I like that too. So I'm doing more money now in consulting and like teaching and like even just like in affiliates. I'm making pretty good money. I'm filming for other construction companies, doing their social media as well, and I'm making money doing that. Like I'm still making money, right? Like I find new ways to make money. I'm diverse. I diversified a long time ago. You know what I mean? So I'm still afloat, but it's sad because I don't have the content to give you guys. And that's what's really stressing me out right now. I put my life into Construction Cronies into this channel, and I'm trying to find new ways to bring you content. I need help from you guys to tell me what you need and what you want and stuff like that. And that's why I'm not putting out a lot of content. I'm stuck. I don't have it. I don't know what to do at the moment. Like, you know, if I had some more money, it would be good to just start building ground up. You know, and start doing my own buildings and selling them. Okay, and I am working on something like that, but that's not a guarantee. I'm working with this restoration company, so some of the content might change into that, and I'm going to be dealing with all the steel stud and drywall restoration, repairs, and all that as well. There's stuff I want to do with like more homeowner stuff as well. But I don't want to lose the core commercial, like industrial audience, right? Like that's, you know, I want to always be here to support that. And I have been struggling trying to figure out what to do for content. You know, it's been tough this year for content wise, for sure. Yeah, I know, right? Sergeant Joe Smith is so weird, right? I don't understand why they'd be happy with less. Like, why are these people happy with less? I feel like it's just because they're conditioned from their own countries to just accept less. You know, like it's really strange that I never could figure that out. Why are they happy with making less? I don't understand that. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, yeah, you're smart, man. I know that's how you got to do it. You know, I know it's funny. I mean, my income comes from a dozen different sources. Absolutely, a dozen or more different sources. You know, I get like, you know, maybe it's only 500 here or 1,000 there or whatever, but it adds up. It adds up. You know, you gotta work. Just work, man. Just fucking work, man. I don't understand how people can be satisfied with making the bare minimum. It doesn't make sense to me, man. You know? And there's guys like me. I'm fighting, guys. I'm writing letters to the politicians, and I'm so active, man. I'm like the biggest loudmouth there is in Canada right now, trying to fight for fair wages and fair business practices. Okay, like I am mouthy. I am writing letters, and I'm showing up to people's places, like not their homes, but their offices and their rallies and stuff like that. Like I'm showing up. I'm doing my part, right? But yeah, it's gonna be it's not gonna be easy, man. It's not gonna be easy to fix this. But people need to wake up. The more we can educate the owners and the people who are spending the money, okay, that's when things will change, guys. Okay, when the people who are actually spending the money, their own money on this stuff, that's when it'll change. Okay, when they are educated and they know what's up. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's right, man. No, and that's good. And 30's fair for that. 30's 30 or 40, 30, 40. Man, like that, dude, that's fair for that. That's more than fair. Like that's great. That's really great. And that's the thing. People don't understand. Like, yeah, when somebody asks me what's my hourly rate, and I say my hourly rate is $100, they're like, "What do you mean it's $100? You out of your fucking mind? I'm only going to give you 30." So then call someone else. My hourly rate's 100. Sorry. Okay, like you're not just buying, you're buying my tools, you're renting my tools, my expertise, my everything. All right, find somebody else that'll do what I can do for $100. You're going to be paying 10 times more than that. Trust me. So, and it's funny. Most people do learn their lesson, and they know. Like that's like my long-term clients know that, right? Like, that's so weird, eh? Isn't that so weird? I don't understand that. Sergeant Joe Smith, man, I get that. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand why they do that. Yeah, it's insanity, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, they don't know what the going rate is. Yeah, I know. And that's just it. There has to be a program for incoming immigrants to sit down and be educated on what the rates are and what they have to do. Like they have to follow along, because that's the problem with construction is you could pay as little as you want. There really is no minimum wage, because a lot of companies will pay like they want you to be a contractor, and when you're a contractor, okay, all you have to do to be a contractor is have a business number or whatever, and then you're self-proprietorship. And they can then pay you whatever you want. You'll be working for $2 an hour at the end of the day, right? Like, there's a lot of scams out there, and construction is the worst for that. It is the worst. Yeah, that's wild, dude. That's I think it's gonna be. I really feel like it's gonna have to get better, because nothing's gonna get built. Nothing's going to get built in this current climate, okay? It's going to have to change. Yeah, no, my office is my garage, right? Like, this is my house. Like, I built my garage is my office, My studio, my garage, it is my office. Like, this is my office. It's right here at home. I don't go out and lease expensive trucks. I don't lease an expensive office. I don't need to be flashy. What makes me flashy and what speaks is my product, the product that I produce. There's my resume, Never judge a book or never judge a guy by the kind of car he's driving, okay? Trust me. You'd be very wrong to do that. It's usually the guys with the most flashiest shit are the most useless assholes, okay? So, yeah, it's good times, man. But yeah, no, so I don't know, what is this this seems like a pretty good time for everybody, eh? This 5 p.m. Sunday, or did you guys have any other like time frames that might work better for you? Let me know. And because I want to do this every week. Sundays, I love Sundays. I played around with different times. I could do early in the morning. I could do later. I could do really any time, but maybe I'd like to set a certain time in stone where it's like 5 p.m. We're doing blueprints. That's that, and then I definitely will want to do something else during the week, but I like being live. I really like being live, because that way I can interact and answer questions live. And like, man, today we had blueprints uploaded right away, like right here, so you guys send me your blueprints. We can do a live stream. We can talk it out. So throughout the week, if everyone's sending me their blueprints through the week, come Sunday, then we can sit down here and we can go over all your blueprints together. You know what I mean? And learn together. Like that I think is a cool show, a good learning opportunity for everybody. And yeah, like it's easy to teach layout at the same time, because, it's not, you just gotta, learn some basics. And then, once you can start seeing it as it is on site and on the prints, then you're laughing, right? This shit ain't like rocket science here. It's not that complicated. It just looks complicated because you got to understand the contract documents, okay, which is the blueprints and the specifications and addendums and contracts themselves. Those are for a job that has many contractors, many, could be 100 different contractors. All the information is almost in one place. Okay. Like, yeah, we have mechanical drawings, electrical drawings, but there's still like so many trades. Like, you know, like you got your wall builders like us, the ISM guys, steel stud, drywall, who do the walls and the ceilings. You in the same wall, you got plumbing, electrical, and you got and then there's the flooring contractor, there's the painters, there's the insulators, the fire stoppers, the concrete guys, the brick guys, the like there's the cladding guys, the roofers, the carpenters, the mill workers, the, you know what I mean? Like there's all of these companies, man, that, you know, those drawings, you just got to know what information is relevant to you, okay, and pull that out from those drawings and just work with that and just forget everything else. And the more you do it, the easier that becomes, you know. Oh, great on, Bob. Yeah, so I like 5. I think I'll keep it at 5. So we'll definitely do it again at 5 p.m. next Sunday. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm got another video coming out. It's about fair wages, and I'm gonna try to do more. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I know, and that's so. And then the funny thing is too, Sergeant Joe Smith, is I've invited a dozen people to my office here, and only one guy's ever showed up. They think I'm fucking joking or something. Like, man, my office is in my house. Who gives a shit? But I tell you, everybody who walks through this door, their eyes pop out of their fucking head. They're just like, whoa, this place is freaking cool, man. Yeah, it is cool. Like, you know, but, you know, I don't need an expensive office somewhere else. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It doesn't take, that's my biggest pet peeve with construction companies, okay, is like, especially drywall contractors. They'll have an office somewhere, and they're going to have all these project managers and estimators and coordinators and safety people, and they're giving them all trucks, and then they're paying their people in the field shit to pay for, so that they have enough money left over to pay for all the bullshit at the top. I can do everything from here as any of those companies do, and I can do it better. Because I know what the fuck I'm doing. Right? And there ain't all this back and forth or this and this. I can do all of what they're doing. I can do right here myself. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, Sergeant Joe Smith. You know what I'm saying. There's no need for that shit. There's no need for it. It's a waste of money. And they all just want to look bigger and better and this and man, it's all bullshit. Yeah, your office is your cell phone, right? I mean, seriously though, like that's legit. That's totally legit, man. I dig it. I totally dig it, man. Yeah. But everybody that works for me makes good money. I pay my guys. Everybody who works for me makes way more money than any of those big companies pay. Way more, because I don't have to. I don't need to. You know, I don't need to pay for all the bullshit. I don't need to pay for all these guys' trucks and gas and all that. You know what I mean? You know, I do all the estimating, everything myself, no problem. You know, I even go and I do the work myself. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that. Just keep it simple, stupid. You know, keep it simple. Why complicate things? You know, your money is better put into your workforce, into your guys in the field, you know? Yeah, that's right. Galen Weston comes to mind. Yeah, man, the people doing the installations are the ones that matter. They're the ones that should be getting paid and taken care of, okay? These guys, man, you wouldn't, like, there's just so much waste. And that's the thing with bureaucracy, and it's just useless. It's useless, and it only makes things more complicated, more bloated, inflated. You know, like the money should be going to the guys doing the work. Okay, it's not fair that a project manager gets paid $150,000 or $250,000 a year when the guy who busts his ass 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, gets paid 70 to 90. That does not compute for me. All right, guys. Well, anyways, I gotta get going here. I got a roast beef cooking there, and it's about time for me to go and check on that baby. But happy Sunday, fun day, everybody. It was really good talking to you guys today, man. I really had fun. I'm gonna do this again, and like I said, I if you guys have ideas for or anything, if you want me to talk about anything, just shoot me an email, leave me a comment on a video. Anybody has questions, please ask questions. There is no such thing as a dumb question. Just leave it on any video. I will get it. The only time that I'm slow to respond to questions or replies would be like when you leave a comment and then I reply to it and then you reply to me again. For some reason, YouTube doesn't bring those forward. It's so stupid. I actually have to go into my studio, go to comments, and then filter. Like, it's so stupid. So that's why I missed it. That's why. But if it's a first comment, I always get it, right? But yeah, it's just what that is. That's what I had. Yeah, and this one is so big, I'm gonna probably end up having it all week for lunch. This is I can't believe this. This is the biggest one I ever cooked. I think I don't even know why. My wife must have got a good deal in it. Yes, dude. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I started to. I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer and then I started to watch the film and then I forgot. So thank you for reminding me. I'm going to go back and watch that. But yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah. Farmers. Yeah. No, you're right, man. I don't know if you guys know, but yeah, my short film, Papa's Camera there actually won. And so we're going to the big screen. We're going to the film festival this year in October. And so my film will be on the big screen. I'm just finished. I'm redoing my documentary there that I did at the beginning of the year, but the homeless encampments. I'm just fine-tuning that, and then I'm going to be putting it up on Uscreen for sale. So hopefully somebody will buy that. But we actually freaking won, man. I couldn't believe it. There's a record number of entries this year too, so I was pretty happy about that. It was crazy, and I filmed it. I did it all myself, man. Filmed myself, wrote it myself. Like, it was awesome. Like, yeah, man, I was super happy about that. But so we're going to the big screen. That's cool. But yeah, man, I gotta get going. But yeah, you guys are the best, man. Sergio Smith, Bob, Lauren, thanks for hanging with me, guys. If you guys, everyone else who was here today, man, appreciate you all. Be safe, and like I said, ask away, send me emails. I help so many guys behind the scenes. You have no idea how many guys I'm talking to on emails and stuff like that, answering anything. Like, it's crazy, but 100% you will for sure, Sergeant Joe Smith. 100%, brother. All right, guys, peace, man, and respect. Love you all. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye for now, guys. Let's try to get some tunes on here while we get out of here. Bye, guys. I'll see you next week for sure. Oh, I guess I need to turn the volume up.